Now we are going to solve some numerical based on steam table as well as based on Mollier chart. First, using a Mollier chart, I am going to solve a problem. The statement is like this: using Mollier chart, find enthalpy drop and find condition of steam. Condition of steam means the dryness fraction. So whatever we are trying to find out, so first summarize those things. That condition of steam, that means what? That means dryness fraction we have to find out first. Okay, then it is told that when it is expanded, that means when the steam is expanded isentropically means the entropy is constant. Entropy is constant. What is entropy? That I am going to explain at the time of second law of thermodynamics. Okay, so for now you should know that entropy is a property of a system, just like enthalpy, internal energy. Similarly, entropy is also a property of system. Okay, so steam is being expanded, okay, by isentropic process from an initial pressure, that is 30 bar. So if I name it by P1, that is initial pressure. So initial pressure is given, that is 30 bar, and temperature I am considering like T1, that is initial temperature, and that is also given 350 degrees centigrade. So initial pressure and initial temperature is being given, and the final pressure is also given, writing P2, that is final pressure. Final pressure is given, that is 1 bar. So that is the whole information regarding this problem. And what you have to find out, we have to find the condition of steam, that is questioned. You have to find out the dryness fraction of the steam, that is the quality of the steam of the, or rather say condition of the steam. And using Mollier chart you have to solve it. Obviously that same problem can be solved by steam table also. We are going to solve some problem using the steam table, but first of all you should know how the steam Mollier chart is being used. Okay, the statement is very clear to us now, that is the steam is being expanded from a pressure and temperature 30 bar and 350 degree centigrade, and it is being expanded isentropically, means the entropy remaining constant during this expansion. And how far it is expanded? Up to 1 bar it is expanded. Obviously while the expansion process is going on, the pressure is reduced and the volume is getting increased. Okay, now what we have to do, we have to use these two available values as well as 3, and these two initial values, and that is the final value. These 3 values we have to project on that particular Mollier chart. How that those values can be inserted in this particular diagram, that I am going to show you people over here. Suppose first one is 30 bar pressure. So observe the Mollier chart carefully. You can see lots of constant pressure lines are given. They are lying like this way, purple colored lines. You can see the color attributes over there. So just find the 30 bar pressure line from there. So if you see that 20, 25, 30, that is the 30 bar pressure line. I can make it clear for you people. That is the 30 bar pressure line. This one is the 30 bar pressure line, because 30 is written over there. And the initial temperature is also given 350 degrees centigrade. So the temperature line is also lying like this, the yellow colored line, and this 350 degrees centigrade line is this one. So just you have to find the intersecting point of this 350 degrees centigrade with the 30 bar pressure. So suppose that is the 350 degree centigrade line, and this is the 30 bar pressure line. 30 bar is coming like this. So 30 bar and 350 degree centigrade, that is the intersecting point. That is the intersecting point I am talking about. So you have to find that intersecting point where this P1 and T1 is going to intersect each other, because they are the initial state condition of the steam. So first try to find out that intersecting point using these two data. Now the steam is expanded, but the process is isentropic. So this is the entropy axis. The horizontal lying axis is entropy, we know. So if you are going to do a isentropic process, then you have to project a vertical line, because following a vertical line the entropies are constant, because the horizontal axis is entropy. So after finding the state point, intersecting point P1 and T1, that is the state point 1. So that from state point 1 you have to project a vertical line up to that 1 bar pressure line, because the final pressure is 1 bar. Also you have to find the pressure line 1 bar where it is lying actually. So easily you can find out 1 bar pressure line. So that is, I can see over here, that is the 1 bar pressure line. This purple colored line, that is 1 bar. It is written over there. So following the 1 bar pressure line and draw a projection, vertical projection from that initial state point. So I think it is the intersecting point. The vertical projection line and the 1 bar pressure line, they will intersect each other. So that particular point will be giving you the state point 2. So that state point 2 while you are getting, then obviously it is relating with this dryness fractions line, because all these dryness fractions are given over here. You can see the quality of wet steam, they are represented by the dryness fraction. Okay, so while you are getting the point 2, then from there you can get the value of dryness fraction, because that point 2 value, obviously it can intersect any of the dryness fraction line, or if it is not intersecting, then you have to do some approximation. So using this dryness fractions line and point 2 state point, you can get the value of dryness fraction. So if I project all those things over here, so it will be look like this. Suppose I am trying to show you that how this process will be look like if you put it on a Mollier chart. Suppose this is the Mollier chart, this is H and this is S. Okay, now first try to find out the P1. P1 is the pressure line. The pressure line is lying like this way. These are the pressure line, and suppose this line I am considering, that is this line. Suppose that is the P1, that means 30 bar pressure line, I am considering that line. Okay, now you have to find the temperature line. Temperature lines, obviously they are with some different colors. They are lying like this way. These are the temperature line I am considering. Okay, so now I am taking that this first line is like the 350 degree centigrade. This one I am considering, that is T1, that is 350 degree centigrade. So that temperature line and the pressure line, they are intersecting at this point. So that is the state point 1. Now it is a isentropic process during the expansion. So I have to project a vertical line using a scale and pencil. Obviously all the time you have to use a scale and pencil. Suppose this is my the pressure line. Suppose this is the pressure line of P2, that is 1 bar. So you have to draw a vertical projection up to the 1 bar pressure line. It is the intersecting point. I am taking it as 2. Okay, so state point 1, that is the initial state point. State point 2, that is the final state point. All the time you have to use some scale and pencil. It is based on the observation, how much accurate you are. So that's why the values will differ from man to man. The accuracy, if it is higher, then the value will be perfect one. Then after getting the point 2 and 1, you are having the initial state point and the final state point. So dryness fraction value lines, they are actually following like this way. These are the some dryness fraction lines. This dryness fraction line, lots of line will be there. If your 2 state point is mating with the particular dryness fraction line, then it will give you that particular dryness fraction. Suppose it is the dryness fraction value is 0.65. Then if this point 2 is lying on the the x equals to 0.65 dryness fraction line, then it will be the dryness fraction of 0.65 if it is intersecting that particular dryness fraction line. But if your point 2 is not actually meeting with that particular dryness fraction line, it is suppose lying between these two lines. Suppose point 2 is lying between two dryness fraction line, then you have to do some approximation that for which dryness fraction line it is closer. So you have to do a approximation, or you can do some geometric interpolation there, like in the distance how much close the point is, taking into consideration, you have to do some interpolation there, geometric interpolation. So that way you can find the value of dryness fraction. By hook or by crook, you have to find that point 2, how much close with that particular dryness fraction. If your observation or level of observation is good, then your value will be much more accurate, and obviously it will differ from person to person. So that way, that point 2 touching with the dryness fraction line will give you the quality of steam, and that is the requirement of that particular problem. Understood? So you have to study the Mollier chart very carefully. By that way, it will be more accurate answer for you will come. Next, moving to a second problem using the Mollier chart again. Now a second problem from Mollier diagram. The statement is look like this: a sample of steam at 200 degrees centigrade and a pressure of 7 bar is first expanded at a constant enthalpy at 3 bar and then at constant entropy to 0.5 bar. So steam is being expanded, and the expansion process is in two steps actually. So the steam initial state condition, that is T1, I am taking as initial temperature, that is 200 degrees centigrade. A sample of steam at 200 degrees centigrade and a pressure of 7 bar. So the P1 can be written as 7 bar. They are the initial or starting point of the steam. So it is first expanded at a constant enthalpy. Constant enthalpy process is nothing but the isenthalpic process up to 3 bar pressure. So then it is being expanded. Following constant enthalpy process. Constant enthalpy process. It is being expanded up to 0.5 bar. You can see the pressure is being reduced. Oh sorry, it is not 0.5 bar, it is 3 bar. It is 3 bar. So pressure from 7 bar to 3 bar it is being reduced. So obviously it's the expansion process. The volume will be getting increased. Okay, so that is a state point 2. Then at constant entropy, again it is being expanded. And then the process is constant entropy. Constant entropy process is nothing but isentropic process. Okay, so constant entropy process is being used, and then it is again expanded up to 0.5 bar. So that is basically the state point 3. That's why I have used different subscript P1, P2 and P3. Okay, now this during this process I have to find change of entropy. Change of entropy means final state entropy. That is you can see that during this P2 to P3 there is nothing change of entropy because it is a constant entropy process. So the change of entropy will occur from 1 to 2, isn't it? So I can say that change of entropy I can say that S1 S2 minus S1, that I have to find out. That is the change of entropy I have to find out. Okay, but during that obviously the entropy is getting increased with the increase of temperature, and while the expansion process is going on, temperature is also will increase. So according to the temperature increment, entropy also will increase, enthalpy also will increase. Okay, so state point 2 entropy and will be higher comparing with state point 1 enthalpy entropy, as well as for enthalpy you can repeat the same. State point 2 enthalpy will be higher than the state point 1 enthalpy. That's why I have written S2 minus S1 instead of S1 minus S2. Understood? So S2 minus S1 I have to find out, but similarly I can write that if I try to find out S3 minus S2, S3 minus S2, if you try to find out, it will be 0. Why it is happening so? Because it is a constant entropy process, it is a isentropic process. So if it is told you to change find a change of entropy, you have to find S2 minus S1. S3 minus S2 will be 0, and the change of enthalpy also you have to find out. Change of enthalpy means that enthalpy change during H2 minus H1, that you have to find out, as well as H3 minus H2, that also you have to find out. Or if you try to find out from starting of the procedure and ending of the procedure, then you can find as well as H3 minus H1. That will be the better one to find out, because from starting to enthalpy, if you are asked that enthalpy drop for each stage, then each stage if it is asked you, then all of this should be find out. But if you are asked that enthalpy during the whole process, then H3 minus H1 will be the better one to find out instead of these two. Okay, so using the same principle, using a Mollier chart, first we have to find out that using this initial state point P1 and T1. So according to the 7 bar pressure and 200 degrees centigrade temperature, again I have to use the Mollier chart like this way. Suppose this is the Mollier chart. It's not you don't have to suppose, it is really a Mollier chart. So find the 7 bar pressure line. This is a 7 bar pressure line I can see over here, and 7 bar pressure line at 200 degrees centigrade. So 200 degrees centigrade temperature line it is. So 200 degree temperature line and 7 bar pressure, I think it is the intersecting point. 200 degree and 7 bar. 7 bar you have to pull the line, go with the line like this way. So 7 bar 200 degree, this will be the intersecting point over here. Okay, so also you have to find the intersecting point very carefully. There is a very high chance to miss them actually. Lots of lines are lying there, that's why. Then after finding the state point 1, then you have to find the state point 2. So it is a constant enthalpy process. So that is the enthalpy axis is this one. So constant enthalpy process means it will be a horizontal line obviously. Understood? So if the state point 1 is this one, 200 degrees centigrade mating with 7 bar pressure, and then you have to move horizontal direction, because it is a constant enthalpy process. Up to which limit? Now up to you have to move up to 3 bar pressure. So after stating state point 1, you have to move horizontally. That way you have to use a ruler there, draw some horizontal line, and up to which limit? Up to 3 bar pressure limit. So that way 3 bar pressure, and this one is the 3 bar pressure. So 3 bar pressure means this line will continue up to that limit. So that will be the state point 1, and that is suppose the state point 2. You are moving horizontally. Then you have to move the state point 3, that is the constant entropy process. So that way you have to pull some vertical projection line up to 0.5 pressure line. So 0.5 pressure line you can find easily over here. That is the 0.5 pressure line. So from there to here you have to pull some vertical projection line, because it is a constant entropy line, and that is the horizontal axis is nothing but the entropy. So that way you can find these three lines. If I show it a sample over here, you don't have to just, show the sample on the problem. Just I am trying to explain you. That's why I am trying to project the whole thing over here. Suppose this is our pressure line 7 bar, assuming so. Okay, and this one is our temperature line 200 degrees centigrade. This is our 200 degrees centigrade temperature line. So that is the intersecting point 1, state point 1. From there you have to draw some vertical projection. Up to which limit? Up to 3 bar. Suppose this is our 3 bar pressure line. Suppose this is our 3 bar. Oh, sorry. Don't have to pull the vertical projection because it is a constant enthalpy process. Sorry, I forgot. So constant enthalpy process is 1 to 2. So you have to move horizontally that point of time. Okay. How much? 3 bar. So assuming that this one is a 3 bar pressure line. This one is a 3 bar pressure line. So then you have to extend that horizontal projection up to 3 bar pressure line. That is the 3 bar pressure line. Okay. So this is the state point 2 I am getting. Now from 2 to 3, that is constant entropy process. Constant entropy process means you have to pull some vertical projection because this axis is entropy. How much it is? 0.5 bar. Suppose this is the 0.5 bar. 0.5 bar. So you have to pull that vertical projection up to 0.5 bar. Always use pencil and scale to draw these lines. So this is the state point 3. So the whole procedure starting from 1 to 2, 2 to 3. Now if you try to find out the change of entropy you have to find S2 minus S1. This S2 and this S1. So along this, if you project that line onto entropy axis, from there you are getting the value of S2 as well as S3. They are same. And if you project that horizontal projection over here using a ruler, so from there you can get the value of S1. Similarly, from 3, if you project it on horizontal axis, from there you can get the value of H3. And if you project this from H1, so it will give you H1 or as well as H2. So that H2 minus H1 is nothing but 0 because it is a constant enthalpy process. Okay, so now just collect all those data from that Mollier chart, because in this Mollier chart a scale is used on vertical axis and on horizontal axis. Both the axes some scales are given. So just using some interpolation you can find that point of time. You have to use some geometric interpolation. You can get the exact values of all those enthalpies and project all those enthalpy or entropy values over here. From there you can get the value of change of enthalpy and change of entropy. Understood? So do solve that particular problem and reply back to me regarding your answers. Okay, next we are going to solve some problem using the steam table also.